Right, because you marry a damn Canaanite woman, and you might say, well, she's all right, her father's real nice. Can't we all just get along?
You got your found down the mole.
Exactly. Yeah, the Canaanite deity. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
And by the way, and let me say this, since he mentioned that Molech, the Canaanite deity, Esau, you got average white people walking up and down. They don't know, they stupefied, man. They just walking around stupid, going to the baseball game, going to the hockey game, going to Macy's, buying this car, buying that car, talking about they're going to buy a house, they're going to invest in the stock markets. I'm talking about you average white people that walk up and down the street that have no clue as to what's going on. All right? And you shouldn't be with the white man. Okay, you going off. You straight up going off. All right? What's your problem? Why are you with the white man?
She's a moron.
Look at her. She's a moron. Midgets.
And then she going, when I said something about the white man, she gonna look at the white, she gonna look at her boyfriend, Steve. That's why I got on her ass. I said, you a demon. But then again, she might be a J. She might be a J. Well, whatever the hell she is, the nigga woman ain't right any damn way. All right? Go ahead.
I'll read the third verse again. Neither shall thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter...
Right. That's talking about the Canaanites, but it's talking about any of them. And you Israelite women are not supposed to marry any other nation except the Israelite men.
That's right.
So you have a problem, all right?
Especially
and what's that chick, the head top model? What's that bitch name? I gotta get on her. I gotta get on her again. Tyra Stanks.
Forehead base.
All right. 4 head. All right. 5 head.
Tyra Stanks.
Hey, she now with all the eligible black men out there, right? She's dealing with a damn Italian dude. Or a damn white man, a cracker. That shows you that you black women are totally out of order, man. We don't even acknowledge you, man. We don't even think about you. We don't even you're not even thought about no more. All right? Go ahead.
Third verse. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Now, I want to say this. The so-called white man, like I said, you got average white people that walk up and down. You got average white people that's walking in a stupefied, idiotic, moronic state that have no clue as to what's going on. All right? But you have so-called white people like Bush or George W. Bush or Daddy Bush, Papa Bush, that's what we call them now. You got Papa Bush and Baby Bush, like the 2 bears or the 3 bears. You got Papa Bush and Baby Bush. You got Clinton. You got Clinton. You got
Kerry.
You got John Kerry. You got all these senators, congressmen, CEOs, CFOs of Fortune 500 companies. You have advisors to these presidents. The top elites of this society, and when I say this society, I'm talking about the world society. All right. Now these people, they're considered bohemians because what they do is different from what the average white man does. Going to the hockey game, going to the baseball game, talking about Yankees win. I ain't thinking about no damn Yankees. The hell with some goddamn Yankees, man. All right, grow up. Why don't you read a book? Why don't you learn something, man? But anyway, the elite, their belief is different. Their belief system is different than the average white man's belief system. And then there's so-called white people like elite that are above the law. Is Bush above the law? You damn right he's above the law. Here he is. He referred to the Arabs as being terrorists, but now he has the terrorists, which is the United Arab Emirates, guarding the ports around this country, in California, in New York, and there's a link to terrorism with the United Arab Emirates. There's direct links with the United Arab Emirates and terrorism. So he's talking about, he made a statement, we're not going to make any treaties with no terrorists, and we're going to consider any nation that supports the terrorists as terrorists. They're just as bad as the terrorists. Now he made that statement yesterday at this veterans thing on C-SPAN. I watch C-SPAN a lot. When I get up before I go to work, I put on C-SPAN. When I come home, I put on C-SPAN. I'm like a C-SPAN junkie. If I'm not watching C-SPAN, I might be watching CNN. And I'm damn sure watching the regular news. Most of the time I'm watching C-SPAN, I'm watching CNN. I'm watching the regular news at 11 o'clock, the regular news at 6 o'clock, if I get home early enough. And I'm going on the internet, just like other brothers, going on the internet, going in newsmax.com and these different news, internet websites, that's the word I'm looking for, to get this information and to get other views. Like, for example, you have what's called the AP. The AP is the Associated Press. Now let me tell you something about the Associated Press. All these different news programs, they have like a ticker tape, because I was in this radio. more woman and a man more. All right?
Yes.
You found it? Did you find it?
This picture here, but that's not the
Okay, well that's a good picture, brother. I can see why Solomon was dealing with them women. Now this right here, it says detail from four times of the day. Now I don't got to tell you what the 4 times of the day represent. All right, you can figure it out.
18th century.
Now this is 18th century England, 1700s, of a white woman, a big, thick white woman with a Moor rubbing on the woman. So they had, so the black man had white women. The black man also had his own woman, but he had concubines. He had more. He had more than one woman. Now, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have more than one woman because that's part of our nature. And let me say this, a lot of women get mad. A lot of women get mad because they might say to themselves that, look, you can't have, you can only have me. Well, you know what? If you have one woman, you would wear that woman out. You would wear that woman out. All right? You got another picture? Well, that's a good picture too. Look at that picture, brother.
Oh.
That's another. Read the caption on that.
It says, detail from the slave market by J.L. Jerome. Negroes and whites being sold together.
Well, that was going into Negroes and whites being sold together. All right? But you had Moors that had concubines, and they had harems. And then their harems, that was their personal women that they dealt with on a sexual level. All right? Is there more? Okay. But anyway, that's just on that. Now let's go back to the scripture.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you found another one?
No, that's it.
Okay, that's the picture. Okay, good. Let me look at it first. It says detail of Turkish harem seen by J.L. Jerome. Now look at them women, man. Look at them women. That's when the women had them big ass, white women had big butts and all that, man. Now they making a comeback. And that's a black man looking, tending to him, looking at him. All right, see that? So how you gonna tell me that the black man can't have white women or Hawaiian women or East Indian women or Chinese women? And that's not to mention in our kingdom we ain't gonna push the black woman to the side or any of the other tribes. We're not gonna push the Puerto Rican, but we're gonna have more than one woman. All right? Because we're gonna be in our kingdom. What you think we're gonna be like the white man in the 50s? Oh honey, I'm going to work. Goodbye, see you later. Say hi to the kids. All right? So you people getting offended already?
Yeah, she was there listening all day.
Now let's go back to where we left off in Kings. 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, start from the first verse again.
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
The strange woman is talking about from different nations. Go ahead.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites.
Right, the daughter of Pharaoh. Actually, he went off because he married the daughter of Pharaoh. So that was Egyptian women, the Moabites, Chinese women, Ammonites, Japanese women. Go ahead.
Women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites,
the white woman. We just showed you pictures of the white woman. Go ahead.
Zidonians
are Africans. Go ahead.
And
Hittites are Africans. Go ahead.
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their God.
Right, because in the beginning, that's how it was supposed to be. You wasn't supposed to marry unto them, just deal with them as concubines, like I said. Now, let's go from there to the book, I believe it's Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, in the first verse. Deuteronomy 7th chapter in the first verse.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Now that land was the land of Canaan. Does anybody have an ancient map? Let's bring out the ancient map, the big map, so we can show it.
Is that it?
Yeah, the land of Canaan is in Africa, but close to, actually, I'm sorry, the land of Canaan was Israel, smack dab in the middle of Israel. Just give me any map showing like the Red Sea, Jerusalem, because that's the land of Canaan, Jerusalem. That's it. That's good. That's it. That's it. What? This was the whole land. Get a good picture of that, man. Get a good picture of that. That right there was considered the land of Canaan. So where was, you got to give me a map of the Red Sea. The Red Sea and the Gulf of Atha and the Gulf of Suez. Because I'm going to show you where Israel was at that time. But the Most High commanded them, to take that land. All right? All right, put this sign back for a minute. Show me this sign. Pull it out, brother. Pull it out.
Somebody go back there and help him with the map.
Okay, this right here, if you know anything about the ancient world, all right, Egypt, the Sudan, which that's Ethiopia is down here, and so forth. Well, anyway, the children of Israel, during the time of captivity, they were right over here. That's where Goshen was, right? Now, when they said they went through the Red Sea and the Red Sea was split, all right? They didn't, this is the Red Sea right here. The Red Sea would have to be mile-wide. This had to be about 100 miles. So they didn't go through that. They went through this, which was more like maybe 10 miles. Because the Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Atha was also considered, they were connected to the Red Sea, so they were also known as the Red Sea. But really, they went through this part, the land of Goshen, when Ramesses II and the Egyptian armies followed them, or what's the word I'm looking for, pursued after them. And the Most High had Moses perform a miracle where he split the Red Sea, but it was the Gulf of Suez, and they wound up right here. Now the armies of the Pharaoh's armies, they were drowned in that part of the sea. That's why you had archaeologists and scholars and historians went and found chariots down here. Right, Jacques Cousteau and all that, all right? But this is where the Israelites landed up, our people landed up, right here, in between the Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Atha. So and then when they received the law, they received it, the Mount Sinai was right here. And it was also known as the wilderness of sin. So what happened was, okay, good. Beautiful. Right, okay, it's more, right. Right, and that's exactly the route that they went. All right, hold this Bible. That's the route that they went. Right, because it says, now you see this here, it says Ramesses, right? Now somebody give me the book of Exodus 1, and start with the first verse.
The book of Exodus 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob.
Go ahead.
Reuben, Simeon, Levi.
Jump down faster, Jacob.
And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
Right. When you go into the story of Joseph, he became great. He became the second under the Pharaoh at that time. But that Pharaoh died and a new Pharaoh came up. He had a line of Pharaohs. The Pharaohs during the time that was contemporary with Moses was Ramesses II. And his father, I believe, was named Seti. Yeah, Ramesses I, Seti, and Ramesses II. All right. Now, Joseph had died, and the Pharaoh at that time that knew Joseph and respected Joseph and put him in command, he had died. So these new pharaohs said, well, look, we don't know them people.
Oh, I will.
We're not friends with them. We're going to put them into slavery, all right? But this is where they were. Go ahead.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed.
And where were they when they were fruitful and multiplied? They were over here in Egypt. Go ahead.
And increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there.
You know what? Our people can multiply, man. All right, we damn near like rabbits. So you had millions. We don't know the exact number, okay? Because there's a law that says thou shalt not count Israel, but there had to be millions of them. All right, from 70 souls, out of 70 souls, there became, if not millions, close to a million. But when we came out of Egypt, 400 years later, there was more than a million. Okay, there were certain scholars that said there had to be about maybe 6 million Israelites. So that's a lot of Israelites that came out of 70 people. All right? So they waxed great and they multiplied. Go ahead.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Now that was Seti, the king at that time was Seti, because Moses wasn't born yet and Ramesses wasn't born yet. Go ahead.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
Now, you know what? You got these so-called Negroes. You got a summit today, which I'm taping right now, and I'm going to let the brother see it later, where you got Tavis Smiley, which I give him credit. He's, you know, he's trying to get his people to come together. So he has this forum every year. So he has these different black leaders. Farrakhan's going to be on there today, so I'm going to see what he got to say. Cornel West, not Kanye West, but Cornel West, this professor, all right? He played in that movie, what's the movie, The Matrix, the second part of The Matrix, all right? But he calls himself a top professor of black studies. But all he does all day, which I ain't knocking him, is he quotes the scriptures. He deals with black studies and all that. The situation of black people, and he quotes scriptures. So basically he's a preacher in a college, right? But anyway, they're having a forum today, but all these people talk about Africa, how we got to be linked to Africa, and we've been telling you for years that you're not Africans, and the proof of that is this. The proof is that the Egyptians looked at Israelites, which are black people, and said, look, read that again. Oh, read it again, brother, it's right in there.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
This is the Pharaoh saying, come on, let us deal wisely with them. This is the Egyptian speaking about Israelites, which they're both black people. Go ahead. And by the way, Moses passed one Egyptian. All right? Go ahead.
Lest they multiply, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war,
go ahead,
they join also unto our enemies,
go ahead,
and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Now, that proves to you that even though you have black people, well, in the beginning of civilization, so to speak, the beginning of the building of nations, they were all black. The only person that was different from all the rest of the people were Edomites, which looked like white people. You have a scripture?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The book of Exodus 11 and 7. But against...
But that's the scripture go ahead.
Yep.
That's a perfect scripture. Go ahead.
But against any of the children of Israel...
And this was before, this was during the time when the Most High was going to deliver the nation of Israel. And this was during the time when the Most High started to set plagues. The Egyptians were in the midst of plagues. And by the way, I keep using the word Egyptian because that's the only word you really understand. First of all, they was not being called Egyptians. The word Egypt is a Greek word. When the Greeks colonized those African continents, the African continent, they referred to them as Egyptians. And they referred to the Ethiopians are Cushites. When you go to the book of Genesis, the 10th chapter, it gives you the table of nations. The Cushites, which even today, Cushites today know that they're ancient biblical Cushites. The so-called white man call them Ethiopia or Ethiopian. Esapar, which is a Greek word which means burnt face. Right, and here's the sign. Bring that up over here, brother. So the brother can get a picture of that. You got the generations of Noah, out of whom came all nations, the table of nations, all right? So when you look down, you see, you look from the top to the bottom, you see Israel, so-called 12 tribes, Edom, so-called white people, Moab, Chinese, Japanese, Ashur, so-called Assyrian, Aram, so-called Syrian, Elam, so-called East Indian, Ishmael, so-called Arabs, which the white man call them all Arabs, which means mixed. The Egyptians, so-called Watusis or Susi, but their original name, which the brother should have had Miss Lion. That's all right. You can explain it. Cush, so-called Ethiopian. Like I said, Ethiopian is a Greek word meaning burnt faces. And their faces wasn't burnt, they were dark people. You had the problem. You didn't have a dark face. So you said, well, people's supposed to be white, so something's wrong with you. Your face is burnt. Oh, that's a damn lie. Pawat, Put, so-called Libya. Canaan, unknown, which is South Africa. Gomar, so-called French, and so forth and so on. All right? You can bring this down. And where it speaks about Gomar and the Ashkenazi, those were the sons of Japheth, which are the Hawaiians and the Samoans and the people of the South Pacific. All right? Now let's read on.
Okay. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that you may know how the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Right, so when the plagues came on the Egyptians, like I said, Moses passed for an Egyptian. So if Moses passed for an Egyptian, what color was Moses? He had to be black because the Egyptians were black. And Moses had to be tall because the Egyptians were tall. Now, if Moses passed for an Egyptian, Moses was of the tribe of Levi. What was his brother? Aaron. He was a Levite, so he had to look like an Egyptian. So he had to be black. What about his, you had three in command. You had Moses, you had Aaron, and you had Joshua. Now Joshua was of the tribe of Ephraim, and he looked like he passed for an Egyptian. All right? Then you had Caleb, which was from the tribe of Judah. And he could have passed for an Egyptian. All right? Are you finished with that, brother?
Yeah.
Let's go back to where we left off.
Exodus 1 and 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
Go ahead.
Therefore did they set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Go ahead.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
Right, Pithom and Ramses. That's Pithom right there. All right? And that's Ramses. So whoever put these maps together, these were scholars that put these maps together.
The 12 tribes of Israel.
Right, the 12, you ever heard of the 12 tribes of Israel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you know about it?
I know the 11th tribe. I'm the 11th member.
What tribe are you in?
The 10th tribe from Judah.
Huh?
From Judah.
You're Judah? Oh, yeah? Really?
You prove that according to the Bible?
Oh, well, you know. Maybe you're trying to learn something.
Esau.
No, yeah, you're Esau. That's what you're
Devil. Yeah.
All right?
I sure.
All right, go ahead.
12th verse. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
And the affliction mean they were killing them. They were maiming them and killing them. That's what the affliction means, all right? But they grew more and more. But like I said, going back to what I said, they went to, when they left Egypt, they went to the Gulf of Suez, and they went down And this is Mount Sinai and so forth. Then they went up into